The year is 5012 and a strange cytoplasmic creature is sighted. It's Parasitus, a deadly, formless mass which feeds on all life forms, swallowing its prey whole. And guess what? He's coming over for dinner because Planet Abadox is next on the menu. We take control of Lieutenant Nasal, who must dive into Parasitus and rescue the trapped Princess Maria. Because, of course, there has to be a damsel in distress, even in a traditional shoot-'em-up. Abadox was released in 1990 and was developed by Natsume and published by Milton Bradley. Natsume was one of those companies where, if you saw their logo on the cart, it almost always meant quality. Upon first glance, this is one of those typical spaceship shooters where you scroll left to right and blast everything to bits. Abadox shakes this up a little by using different viewpoints that most shooters from that era shied away from, but we'll get to that soon enough. Controls, like in most games of this genre, are super simple. The B button fires your weapon, and the A button changes the orbit of your shield should you nab one. Occasionally, you'll see blue ships flying by, and these have the power-ups you'll need to survive. There's shields, missiles, lasers, ring lasers, spread shot, and multi-shot. You can also get speed upgrades and extra barriers to soak up some free hits. I like all the power-ups here, especially the laser and ring guns. Those are extremely good. And when you have a full arsenal, you totally feel invincible and can blast through anything. That is, until you crash into something and lose it all. Natsume were one of those masters of the NES because the game looks totally sick. Even the commercials spotlighted the gross factor to the max. Nasal is colored a little bland, but has nice detail overall. The enemies in the stages are the real showstoppers, though. There's all kinds of sick and gruesome things to look at, like teeth, pulsating muscles, a giant tongue, eyeballs, crazy-looking crustaceans, muscular hands trying to grab you. Did I mention teeth? Giant fish, mutant plants, and just plain weird, wild-looking bosses. Just look at some of these monstrosities. The dog skeleton is really cool looking, and look at this thing, just plain weird, like super weird. Why are you the way you are? I don't understand you and fear you. You must die. There's an attention to detail here with these graphics, lots of color too. And check out all the spacecraft tangled up in the slop and tentacles in the first stage. Very cool. Normally, these games play either horizontally like Gradius or vertical like Star Soldier, but Abadox really stands out because it features both. Yes, Life Force also had these viewpoints, but wait, Abadox is the only shooter that I know of that actually scrolls down. It's kind of weird and takes me a second to readjust because staying at the bottom is so ingrained in my mind in these types of games, but it's really cool to fight going down, like you're descending further and further into the squishy madness. Natsume were known for their excellent soundtracks, and this game is highly underrated in that regard. It has a downright ominous opening song, awesome main track, and cool boss theme. Even the powering up sound effect I really like. Of all the tracks in this game, this one is probably my favorite here. In terms of difficulty, you get 3 lives and infinite continues at your disposal, and you may need them. Should you inevitably die, you'll lose all your power-ups, and that's where the real challenge lies. Can you power back up before you get frustrated and turn the game off? Especially during the last stage, you'll need to dodge a lot of enemy fire and avoid running into these firebirds that, if shot, break apart and chase you. To top it off, midway through the game, these blue bubbles start appearing. If you blast one, it'll reveal like a teddy bear that'll stick to you, slowing you down, and you'll just crash into something or some obstacle. It's really frustrating, but you definitely want to avoid those obstacles. Abadox is a visually cool-looking and great-sounding game. It seems to fly under the radar in terms of the best shoot-'em-ups on the system, which can lay claim to at least the top 10. You get infinite continues, cool weapons, different viewpoints, and it has a real good challenge too. I'm giving Abadox a Silver Maxi Award. Well done!